Shalom.
Shalom.
Everybody.
This is Awake, O Israel Ministries, coming to you from Jacksonville, Florida. And we are so blessed to be on almost 8 years now, right? February will be 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we've hit it hard at times. A lot, most of the time we've hit it pretty hard, 3-4 times a week. We're going to slow down a little, but maybe not. We might go on every night and just make the lessons a little shorter, because we can get a lot out in 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Please send donations to our ministry. Support us at josh.lavio@gmail.com. Please, we need your support. Thank you. What we do with the offerings, whatever comes in, we keep buying history books, we keep buying literature, so we can keep on in the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
So we do thank the Most High again for this opportunity to be on in front of you again. So I want to talk about some basic information before we go in. I think it should be at least a little bit of common knowledge. If you listened to us last night, so when you deal with certain things in the Bible, when you deal with for example, the identifying different races in the Bible, the common misunderstanding is the Bible doesn't talk about color or race, right? That's a common misunderstanding, which if you think about it, that's kind of a foolish statement, because the Bible talks about race. It talks about all the.
Yes.
How can a book from the beginning not contain anything about race,
Mm-hmm.
when races have existed from the beginning? Which I think that is one of the fail-safe mechanisms that religion has installed in people to stop people from wanting to know about the origin of races.
That's right, and the truth. That's right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say like this. If you are a historian, you have to deal with all parts of history. Honestly, even the parts of history that make you maybe feel somewhat uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're an honest historian, you'll deal with it because it's history. So when we were on last night, I want to call your attention to something. This whole misunderstanding, if you will, of this world when it comes to race is partially because people aren't taught how to deal with race, deal with racial issues biblically. right?
That's right. Come on.
Okay. The Most High divided the races in the beginning. Okay. He divided the races. Not based on race, based on DNA. Because the races that he was dividing the children of Israel from were mixed people. They had half DNA and half DNA of, they weren't fully people. That's why in the Old Testament, God is continually commanding the Israelites to kill people utterly. Because
babes in arms, cattle, everything.
Because if you understand what happened in Genesis 6, Genesis 3, when about when when God told the serpent and Eve that their seeds would be at variance, which means Satan would end up having a bloodline on earth that would push his agenda.
That's right.
So what does that mean? That means that the people that would end up pushing what we know as the New World Order. The New World Order is not new. The New World Order has existed really since the fallen angels came down and started pushing people away from the Most High.
That's right.
By revealing secret knowledge of technology, science, and other things that men were never meant to know. Okay?
That's right.
That's why people would, and that goes into another what people call that disproves what a lot of people want to believe today in evolution. People are devolving because the world is getting towards the end. We are not evolving as a people, as
come on.
We are not evolving because even a lot of people who deal with technology will tell you the technology has gotten a lot. Although it's advanced, we can't do the same things with the technology that we have today as people back 3,000-4,000 years ago could do with limited technology. Okay, so the world is devolving because everything's coming to an end. Everything's getting less. Okay. So before we go into our lesson today, I want to share.
We're in Luke, Josh. Maybe just show us some clicks tonight. I gave the bank manager CERN. All right, I told her. I asked her to please listen if you can.
Islam, Hinduism, you name it, right? Okay, but this is what happens, okay? Because you're not dealing with what your forefathers were originally given, like Ahab was. He wasn't dealing with what we were originally given. He was following nations around us, and by default, he's dealing with a woman who was doing the same. And only Elijah was left, all else he killed. So 1 Kings 16:29-30. And in the 38th year of Asa, the king of Judah, began Ahab the son of Omri to reign over Israel. And Ahab the son of Omri reigned in Israel and Samaria 22 years. And Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of Ahayah.
What are we in chapter 13? Luke?
So all that were before him, he did even more wicked.
Do it tomorrow.
We're going to see he was dealing with one of the most wicked women of the scriptures. This isn't bad. This isn't going to be bashing women either. I want to let brothers and sisters know this ain't a bash session, like I said before. Okay? But you see, birds of a feather do what? Flock together. We don't get more into it. 1 Kings 16 and 33. And they had made a grove, and they had did more to provoke Ahayah, the papa of Israel, to anger than all of the kings of Israel that were before him. So all y'all gotta do is go back and read Saul, go back and read all the kings that we was under, was leading us astray. And we're gonna talk about that as men too. Because we are led astray by powerful men.
Huh.
Okay, and Asherah pole. Okay, that's Hebrew strong 842. Okay, in the feminine form, singular. It says groves for idol worship. Babylonia has to do with Astarte, the Canaanite goddess of fortune and happiness, and the supposed consort of Baal. Baal, of course, is Satan, so it's Satan's wife. Okay. Okay. Now it says here, while its origins are obscure, medieval Celts are known to have danced around the pole to ensure a fruitful planting season, to the disapproval of the Christian church, which was angered by the ceremony's pagan roots and obvious phallic symbolism. You look at a phallus, which is like the ovulus, same thing. It's made after a man's penis. That's what it's made after. And as you look at Egypt, if you go back and look at my video about the pagan holidays, and you look at Egypt, look at all these different days that are different, different practices they were practicing. And it was all revolved around sex. If I look at the Turin papyrus, the Turin papyrus, and it's like that was a modern day porno for them back then. That's why when the Greeks followed them, they had orgies, and the Romans followed them, they had orgies. The Romans was ruling the day. Okay, run to the beast of Rome. Don't forget that. So I got the link for this. All this stuff is in the description box, but. The Illuminati was found May 1. It's called a maypole. Because I'm going to touch this toward the end. I'm going to save this, but I'm going to touch this once we get to right before we get to the next section. But the maypole, it was like a stripper pole. And it said that, there's historians, our critics, our writer that was writing and saying that they don't believe that this had anything to do with the stripper pole. But when you look at the activities that the pagans were doing, and you look at the sex rituals that they were doing, you look at the Asherah pole, what makes you think it was a stripper pole? They was doing stripper pole activities around. You ever been to a strip club, you know what those activities are. I don't have to go into detail. 1 Timothy 5 and 8. But if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. So that means an infidel is like an apostate, somebody that fell away, somebody that got cut off, from a non-believer. You're worse than them. Don't take care of your own. So, as a man, we have two main things. I'm gonna get to the role of a man, but the main things that we do, we provide and we protect. Most men have dropped the ball in that category, but a lot of men have not, and they have even broke the family curse of that. So you can't put all men into one category, or all men are like this, all men are like that. No, yeah, we got some straight vagabond Jew brothers. I'm gonna get on them. Trust me, I'm gonna get on them hard today. But at the same time, we got brothers that death for their family every day, as the scripture said. We're gonna get more into it. So you see these pictures, right? So the leaders of the black family. Now you see, this is what being a leader, ruling is. A lot of brothers be like, rule me, you gotta tell her what to do and this and that. Yeah, you supposed to guide your woman the right way. That doesn't mean you treat her like a slave, though, brothers.
That's right.
Okay? Supposed to be there for just like these brothers. You see the old black men. And I find it very strange that old black Christian men treat each other better than us that's in the truth and understand who we are and understand the laws of the Most High and all these lost books. But we talk to each other crazy than old Christian men. That's just something to think about, man. I'm not going to dwell too much on that. But getting back to this vagabond truth thing, Acts 19 and 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yashayah, saying, we adjure you by Yashayah, whom Paul preached. So basically, these vagabond Jews is brothers with false doctrine, false teaching. They dealing with an exorcism, which is not scriptural. This was of a pagan origin, because exorcism was that they would remove one demon and replace it with another demon, or they would try to appease that demon for a period. That's all that was. All it is. They're still doing exorcism until this day. These movies that's coming out, like Andy House and all that stuff, is real. Like, the stuff is on, like, you see some of these people, and what's wild, this is what might blow some of your minds. When these people fall out and act a fool and they're possessed, if you look at their mannerisms, it's almost the same as when people do fall out in Christian church. And if you read through the scriptures, you see nobody did that when they were dealing with the Messiah. Nobody fell out and had
nobody. That's right. Tell it, brother. Also, Christians are listening to this fuss, this junk that's going on in the church.
But that's for another day. But look here, Hebrew strong Greek strong, 4022. Okay, Pierotromai. It means to go about, to move, to go around, move about, visit, and make a circuit. This is what vagabond means in the Greek.
Praying the circuit, right, Tony?
A lot of sisters are dating a vagabond brother and think all brothers is vagabond Jews. And some of you vagabond brothers don't even know you vagabond brothers. You not gonna have no job. You don't have no income. You got PayPals and powwows and all types of cash funding apps set up. And you get on brothers and sisters for not funding you. Every time you share something, a post, anything, a video, you got people trying to donate to you. This is why I don't do that. I don't mind if people do, but the money's not going toward me and my personal use. It's going to the furtherment of me doing what I'm doing now.
Right.
If they do donate, which I never asked. But
so
I'm not going to force it down somebody's throat, man.
That's right.
Like, get a job, man. The Messiah was a carpenter, man.
Amen.
Go out and look for a job. Work today is job. J-O-B. You hear me? Yeah. Job.
Like, get a job, man. The Messiah was a carpenter, man. That's all I'm gonna leave it at that. If the Son of the Most High had a job, Negro, you can get a job. Okay? So let's get to the dictionary. Vagabond, a person who wanders from place to place without a home or job. Yeah. Some of y'all are vagabond Jews, man. Okay, so the role of a man according to the Bible, Zechariah 13:5. But he shall say, I am no prophet, I am an husbandman, for a man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. So this is just showing we were the original farmers. You know, we were tillers of the land, all that stuff. You know, you read in the book of Josephus before the madness broke out. Brothers and sisters had 3 to 7 years, I believe, of food stored up. That's because brothers was working, man. It's important to feed. I don't understand, like, I don't went without, and I'm not trying to brag, I'm giving y'all some of my testimony. I don't went without so my babies could eat, or so my babies could make it to where they have to go. I don't went without. You know what I'm saying? And when I couldn't do for them, that broke me like something crazy. And I got to a position where I could. I didn't have to have nobody tap me on the shoulder tell me to feed my family. Like, it's wild. But 2 Ezra 16:33, the virgins shall mourn having no bridegroom, the woman shall mourn having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. So
I'm not going to eat any more bacon, Tony. Outside either, even turkey bacon. I break out from this before it. I'm going to keep drinking this more and more. It's so true.
So
and that calls for also, listen, wait, hold on, Josh. Men of the Most High, especially if you have a call in your life, because Paul took no money from the church. They were all donated. They donated to the ministry, and they kept the Lord and the Sabbath. They weren't Christian churches. So you better get that out of your spirit. Paul went to Asia and taught the law. He taught them how to live right. And they all donated, right, Tony, so they can keep the church going. He didn't take any money from anyone.
Daniel 2.
And they all swear they know Paul. They all brag they know Paul. Don't mention Paul if you're not living like him. Tony, I see just the opposite in the disciples. They weren't asked to be blessed. They were all chased and murdered and martyred.
Right.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. You see how this paganism got in the church? Huh? Through these TV evangelists? Daniel where, Josh?
2, I think you said.
2, Josh? 2, Tony?
Yeah. Leave what you said.
Daniel 2. And where do you ever read in the Word? In the Word. I'm not talking about an annoying pastor. We call him annoying, not anointed. Tell you that all the disciples fell on the ground. Convulsing, what do you call that? Convulsion, what do you call it? When someone,
Well,
convulsions. Where? It's nowhere in the Word. If you read in Revelation, John fell forward, right?
Uh-huh.
He fell at his feet. He didn't fall backwards and hit his head against the stool, pretend he's out. He really got it. You can't wait till everybody leaves so he can rub his freaking head. Got a bump on it. I've been there. I know.
Let's go
Foolishness.
Daniel 2
Daniel 2,
and 39.
39. Better stick with the Word, folks. All right, ready? And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass,
Read.
which shall bear rule over all the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things.
So,
Come on, Josh.
so the Roman Empire, the ancient Roman Empire, as we know, conquered the earth and subdued the earth and had the strength, the appearance of iron, which is the strongest metal known to man. Right?
Come on. And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Read.
And whereas thou sawest the feet, toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
So it will be divided, which we know that the Roman Empire ended up being divided between the East and the West. Just like in America, you have East and West.
Mm-hmm.
And for a time, America was the strongest nation on earth. Read.
For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay. So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
So they will mingle themselves with the seed of men.
Explain that, Josh.
again, that's
Break that down.
talking about at the top. These nations, these leaders are mixing or in.
Tony.
They're mixing with
Go ahead.
divine beings,
That's right.
just like
Fallen
the
angels.
flood, just
Mhm.
like before the flood. Why we have so many demonic things happening in the
Activity,
earth,
that's right.
because Satan's seed through man is ruling the earth. Just like in Rome, we are still in the Roman era.
That's right.
Okay. Daniel 7.
All right, Daniel 7. Where do you want to go, Joshua?
5.
9 or 5? Where are we going, John? Daniel 6. Oh, Daniel 6? Or
No,
7?
Daniel 7. Hold on.
Okay. You all right?
Daniel 7 and verse. Daniel 7 verse 8.
8. Okay. All right, Daniel 7. All right, the book of Daniel 7, 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
So America is a derivative of the English Empire, the Spaniards, and the French.
And behold, in this horn are eyes like the eyes of man,
So
and a mouth speaking great things.
this empire would have the appearance of being ran by regular people, but we know that Satan
That lying
and
mouth
his
is speaking.
seed is ruling this earth.
Right. It's a lying tongue speaking to people. All right, 9.
Read.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down. Explain that, Josh.
Read.
And the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Absolutely.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Stop.
Wheels, chariot, awesome.
So let's go. Load.
Revelation, Josh? Revelation? 1, Josh? 1, chapter 1?
So
Josh, chapter 1?
let's go to Revelation. Hop around a little bit. Revelation 12:1.
Okay, Revelation 12:1. So I hope that you're being blessed, that we have learned to break the word down to make you understand it a lot clearer.
So how do we know that America is this last great empire before Christ? And we're going to get to that. I just want to throw this out there, some precepts. Revelation 12:1. Read.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun.
The woman is the nation of Israel.
and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered.
Read.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, the EU, right? And 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth, the fallen angels.
So this beast, or the Roman Empire, tried to kill Christ the first time under Herod, when in the book of Matthew that Herod found out about the birth of Christ and sent soldiers to Bethlehem to try to exterminate the Messiah. But an angel came and told Joseph to flee into Egypt. Okay. Now this second thing, and this is just to let you know that America is this beast.
America is the beast nation.
Because what other nation can go throughout the earth like America without resistance?
And take any nation if they want.
And just create excuses to invade innocent and kill innocent people.
But not by America's power, but by the elite hidden Rothschilds, the bankers, by them. They're allowed to do this. Okay.
What verse are you on? Are you on?
Yeah, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
So, like I just said, how does this apply to today?
This is Israel, right, Josh?
The earth is trying to destroy the children of Israel.
The 12 tribes, that's right.
And who's the head nation
doing it?
Doing it, America.
Being used by, like we said, the elite of the world, the bankers. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto Ahayah.
Now that happened apparently when Christ resurrected and ascended into heaven.
Onto his throne.
So
come on. That's right.
Satan knows.
Verse 6 next.
Satan knows that eventually Christ is going to come back and restore his kingdom.
That's why he's forcing the world to worship into the technology.
Read.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared. Put your hand out. Of Ahayah, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. Now, he came back with the space program, right?
Go to verse 13.
Verse 13. Are you ready? Verse 13.
Read.
I read it, Josh. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth.
So Satan is operating in the earth. He has no more access into heaven.
None. And Job what? 9:26 says the earth is what? Tell him, Josh.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
Look how long ago that is. Job, that's one of the oldest books, right? He persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
So now, seeing that Satan cannot get into heaven again, Now his agenda is to exterminate the children of Israel, the Negroes and Latinos.
Wow. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle,
Read.
that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time. That's 3.5 years, right? From the face of the serpent.
Read.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood, false doctrines, after the woman. The woman is Israel, right, Josh?
Mhm.
Okay. That he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
So,
And he's done that.
so
But we're close to
the
it.
earth has been, Satan has been using the earth or the media and whatever other realm of control he has on earth to destroy the name or
Of Israel.
to make people disassociate the true Israelites with their
Mhm.
book.
And they did that through Christianity too.
The-
They're teaching in those churches that you're a spiritual Jew now. That's the biggest lie that you're ever going to hear in that church, in those churches.
You are who your father is according to the Bible.
Come on.
So
Like 16 next. Okay.
This flood began with pagan, with
Actually, the God, but Constantine really brought it forth, fully, powerful. No, Josh?
yeah. So this system really kicked into place when Israel was finally put out of the land in 70 AD, because that's when Rome got complete control over the earth. So, and if you look at the 2 dominant what they call world religions today, that's Islam and Christianity. Islam, Ishmael and Esau under Christianity. Both of them have a secret hatred. Well, I would say so-called secret. It's not that secret.
I hate that secret. That's okay. That's okay.
But they have
To the viewers of my
a noted hatred against their brother Jacob.
And the earth helped the woman.
So how did the earth end up helping the woman? By revealing books that have been hidden.
Come on.
And now by the truth coming up out of the earth again.
I like this.
Before Christ returns.
That's right. And the earth opened her mouth, wisdom, books, and swallowed up the flood. Swallowed up the lies, which all the tribes have found out now. The awakening, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. The lies.
So
and the dragon was wrought with the woman, Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Everybody born into Israel, Tony, from that time on, has been persecuted and been killed.
Revelation 17.
Revelation 17 has been hated. We're going to stop soon so we can see what makes you watch the game too. The judgment of the great harlot, Josh.
So this now people want to focus too much on ancient, Rome. See, and that's another mechanism that was built into Christian theology
to keep you like thinking, well, that was
to
then,
keep you
right?
Not looking over here and over. When Europe will regain power eventually, after America is completely annihilated and fallen completely and wiped out.
Very good, and it's coming. So don't hold your breath. You're going to see Jesus in the sky. Or you might see it by CERN and HARP, right? They might put a Jesus up there, right? In a blue beam, right? He ain't coming back here. You're not going to see him coming here. This America is going to be destroyed.
Read.
Okay. Revelation 17, the beginning, Josh. And there came out of the 7 angels, one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, come close, I want to talk to you. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Who's this great whore?
So this right now is America, because
It's a whore nation. It is. It's a whole nation.
Because look at it. What nation has military and embassies all over the earth?
Wow.
We do, America.
That's right. With whom the kings of the earth have committed spiritual fornication.
So they've done this by adopting American philosophy and American ideologies into their nations, due to the fact that America is literally in their nation.
America is a spiritual whore. Let's just, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk.
So now the people have been defiled by
religion,
by the licentious and loose and careless lifestyle of America.
That's right.
That's really why a lot of people want to come to America, because they want to live the way they want to live, and they know a lot of when you get into certain other countries, certain things aren't permitted like they are here.
With the wine of her fornication.
So that wine is a philosophy and the doctrine of
lies.
Of do as you will.
That's Alistair, what's his name? Crowley. And he cried, and he carried me away in the spirit unto the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
So this beast, the woman is a symbol of a religious system, which is carried by a economic superpower a military economic nation.
That's right. Full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. There's the EU again. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color.
Yep. So the 7 horns.
Whose color is that, Josh?
The 7 horns are the ancient Rome, and the 10 heads are the European Common Market, or the EU.
Wow. And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
So once this nation, these people have gone throughout the earth and stole everything, they've stolen all the wealth of the earth.
You know, I truly believe this. Listen to this. I believe this till today. And have me listen to this. A golden cup in her hand. Who's got a golden cup in their hand in the New York Harbor? Full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Read.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon. Now, why is it mystery? Why is it mystery, Josh?
Because when John wrote this, he didn't want the Romans to know that he was writing about them.
Wow.
So he wrote he wrote this in a way where his followers would know, but the Romans that they were over, if they caught people with his writings, wouldn't know who he's talking about.
Babylon the Great, the mystery of harlots and the abominations of the earth, the whole earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. This religion has killed our people, and with the blood of the martyrs
of Yashayah. And
this ain't just in Jew. This is since the beginning. Remember Adam's in where's it, Josh, where he says we are the sons of Adam. So you know that the Hebrews came from Adam too. What's this? Mother of hearts. Okay. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
Read.
And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery, here it is, of the woman, and the beast that sitteth and carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and the 10 horns. So America is part of the beast nation. The beast that thou sawest was and is not.
So the beast that thou sawest,
The youngest nation.
or the nations that you saw, was, it's Rome, and was not.
Come on.
And is not. Why? Because Rome would end up falling, ancient Rome.
Wow.
And shall ascend
out of the bottomless pit.
So letting you know, the governments of this world are under Lucifer.
Get a hold of this tonight, viewers. Get a hold of this.
The bottomless pit, and go into perdition. So they
Perdition
would
means destruction. They're finished.
They would end up being judged by Christ when he returns.
Give me a list. I'll give you some. I'll take it.
That dwell on the earth.
Come on.
They that dwell on the earth shall wander, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the earth.
Break it down, Doc. You might have some new viewers.
When they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. So what does this mean? People wonder after this, what they perceive America to be, a great nation.
Mm-hmm. All this is
not understanding that your admiration of this nation is based on ignorance, of not knowing who this nation is in the Bible. This is the final kingdom that will fall before the Messiah comes back to establish his kingdom. So the true question is, why would you admire something that's going to fall eventually? Because you don't know what you're admiring or what you're looking up to.
And plus, you've been brainwashed through the American government and the media that the world's going to go on. So, right, Tony? So that's what they believe, right? That's living carelessly, and that's living without knowledge and understanding.
So, okay, so
that's docile.
The bottomless pit, when
I'll read
they look,
sit back. Where is it?
So they behold that what that was and is not.
Go ahead.
So Rome was, it died, then it came back under the European Union, the 10 horns, and the 10 horns eventually split off and formed America.
That's right.
Read.
All right, what verse are we in, Tony? 8 or 9?
Read.
Where are we?
9, I think.
9.
Hold on. All right, 9. Start it over, Justin. I got it all underlined here.
And here is the mind that hath wisdom.
Okay.
The 7 heads which thou sawest are 7 mountains which the horse sitteth, which is ancient Rome. So the woman is a false religious system.
Oh, whose names are, we didn't read this, whose names are not.
I read that.
Oh, good. I like that, Josh. Wow.
So
everybody who loves this system is wondering, is admiring that. That's what that means. Your names are not written in the book. You're not going. You have decided to follow and worship Satan.
Read.
What verse?
10.
All right. And there are, sit back. There are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. That's America. And when he cometh, America will continue a short space, because they're the youngest nation in the world. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th. Okay, Josh. And is of the 7 from Rome.
this beast nation, when it comes, it will be of the seventh. In other words, it will come out of the old European system.
That's right. And goes into perdition.
Or goes into judgment.
Judgment. That's right. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
So when America falls, Europe will regain power in the earth for an hour.
Okay. But receive, okay, 1 hour. Okay. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. They're in agreement. These shall make war with the Lamb. They're gonna They're gonna make war with Yashayah, and the Lamb shall overcome them.
For
he is. You know how? Come on.
So
for he is what?
Lord of lords
and King of kings. And they are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest are, which the horse sitteth,
come on,
are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues.
And the 10 horns which thou
stop.
No, stop. Okay.
So that's another symbol or sign that it's talking about America, because not only is America, what one nation has all races in it.
The melting pot, America.
Right? Not you go to English or Europe, and primarily you're going to see one race.
Mostly English. That's right.
You go.
Unless you go to the cities,
you go to the Middle East, and primarily you're going to only see Arabs. You go to Asian countries, you're going to primarily only see Asians.
That's right.
But you go to America and you see everything. You see all races, nations, tongues, and kindreds. And that's also saying that America has worldwide rulership.
Look who's going to destroy America. Watch this, Tony, and the Arabs too. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. That's America. For the Most High hath put in their hearts, the Europeans, to fulfill his will.
So this is the will of God, that America ends up being destroyed.
That's right. And to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled.
Read.
And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Now see, a lot of Christians say that that's Rome. No, it's not. Don't forget, America has been given the power to rule the earth until the power is taken away from her, Tony. All right? Then it goes back to Europe. Listen to this Christian theology, you stay confused.
I just want to close with a couple more. I'll read a couple more things, then I'll put us, and I'll give some closing remarks. So this is Revelation 18, right?
Josh, you want tea tonight?
You
want a cup of tea? Yeah, if you don't mind, Tony. That's exorcism.
And he cried with a mighty and with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. In other words, the system of America will continue to fall until it completely falls and bottoms out and is destroyed. There's no saving this nation.
Yeah, see, just because right away they think it's always money, but it's not. What about the deprivation of what? Prison, drugs, murder. What's going on just in Jacksonville here? It's going on all over the world and mostly in the United States. America is falling, and it's going to get worse and worse. It's not going to get better. We're trying to warn you tonight, don't vote for this government. If you do, you're voting to have power over you by evil spirits, by Satan himself and his demons. These presidents, these senators, they're all working under him. If you vote, you cause the enemy to have power over you and your family.
For her sins have reached to heaven,
That's right.
And God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even double. Reward her even as she has rewarded you, and double unto her according to the works which is in the cup which she has filled, fill it to the double.
Wow.
How much she hath glorified herself. Now, what nation glorifies itself above all nations on the earth?
Mm-hmm.
America is the make America great again.
Josh, tell our viewers what you told me the other day
And
about the people that
and
live in
live
Mexico.
abundantly, deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen.
In the harbor, come on.
What nation is symbolized by a woman statue?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Come on.
And am no widow and will see no sorrow. Therefore shall thy plagues come in one day.
One day.
Death, mourning, and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire.
Where we just read that?
Strong is the
17,
Most High that judge her.
Where we just read that?
And the kings of the earth shall, who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail and lament for her. When they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Wow.
Saying, alas, standing afar off,
Alas, alas.
for fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city or nation, America, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is her torment, is her judgment come.
So, there you have it. Black and white. Just like the pages of the Bible.
And
Just said that people don't believe the Bible.
I'll say this. This whole, what they want to call illegal immigration, and I want you to think about it like this. Who are you to say, who are they to say who's the illegal immigrant? When they stole this land, and you know all this with what they call minorities taking all the jobs and work. You know what that is? That's another sign of God's judgment, because God is repaying what Columbus and all these wicked men did when they stole this land, and by letting other people come here and steal and take the jobs.
Mm-hmm. The cup of fury, Josh, you told me the other day. You know, I love the Mexican people, and I had to realize something. For a long time, I was like a little hurt. I said, you know, I can't work anymore in my nation. I'm born here, but yet I'm looking at it spiritually now. The Most High allowed this. He allowed these people to come in this country and take our work.
It's a part of judgment.
It is. It's judgment. It's really judgment.
It's judgment for what Columbus and all these Europeans have
listen
done.
Up, viewers. Listen up.
In enslavement and
don't hate them.
All the lies. So they want you to hate them when they're not the issue.
You're hating his judgment. Then say in the last days, you'll go like this to the Most High.
You'll shake your fist at him and ask why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at what they've did. Look at what the Europeans have done. So,
So really blessed tonight. I hope
we
there
thank
was
the Most High
yes
for this opportunity again, and Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.